Smith was on probation at the time of his arrest last week. An arrest warrant was being worked up for violating it, but before it was issued, he bonded out of jail.
You cannot tell me that there is any justification for a guy that has committed 4 prior violent felonies to be given a $1,500 cash bond release.
This is the story of Deja Matts, age 19, and her sister, Abbaney Matts, age 20, who were both shot dead by Abbaney's ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old Jacquez Dshawn Smith, who could not handle their breakup.
I think it was like a coward move. I mean, that somebody would do something like that, you know what I'm saying? My daughters were fun, uplifting, had plenty of friends, nice folks, you know what I'm saying? They took both of my daughters.
Her 2-year-old was shot too, but managed to survive. He went ahead to post emotional messages of how he misses her after the shooting in order to fool the cops, but that did not work. Jacquez, who had a lengthy criminal record, had just been released on a $1,500 bail for breaking a lamp over her head, beating her with a frying pan and threatening to kill her. He found his way into Deja's dorm, where he found the sisters and the 2-year-old child. He shot all of them and then fled the scene after the crime. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
Our hearts go out to everyone in the community who has been impacted by this tragedy.
This case will be taking us to Commerce, Texas. The city of Commerce is a close-knit town full of caring citizens, involved students, and a thriving entrepreneurial spirit. Commerce, Texas has a lower violent crime rate than the U.S. average, with 18.4 incidents per 100,000 people compared to 22.7 incidents nationwide. Deja Matts, age 19, was a freshman at the Texas A&M University Commerce pursuing a bachelor's degree in public health. She was a sweet young lady who took her education seriously. Deja, who lived on campus while school was in session, was well liked by all of her friends. Deja was very close to her sister Abbaney Matts, aged 20. Abbaney was a very close person to her sister. They were inseparable according to friends and family. Abbaney had a lovely 2-year-old son who meant the world to her. Abbaney, who was also described to be a really nice person, was in a relationship with 21-year-old Jacquez Dshawn Smith, who was very abusive to her. Abbaney could not handle the beating anymore after he had attacked her, breaking a lamp over her head, beating her with a frying pan and threatening to kill her if she left him. She went ahead to file a case against him and he was arrested. Even though Jacquez had a lengthy rap sheet with the law, including aggravated robbery, he was released on a $1,500 bond, which he posted 2 days later.
Doug, DPA President Mike Motta says last week Jacquez Smith should have never walked out of this jail the way he did after he was arrested for assaulting his ex-girlfriend Abbaney Matts. He was given a $15,000 bond, and Motta says it should have been a lot higher than this given his violent criminal history, including 2 aggravated robbery charges that were later pled down to theft and charges for aggravated robbery evading arrest. Smith was on probation at the time of his arrest last week. An arrest warrant was being worked up for violating it, but before it was issued, he bonded out of jail.
You cannot tell me that there is any justification for a guy that has committed 4 prior violent felonies to be given a $1,500 cash bond release. And this guy got out before that warrant could be activated. When we see something that's broke, the Dallas County justice system has a duty to fix it.
Abbaney was not a student of the university, but sometimes she finds herself on campus when she has something to do with her sister. She has been a dental assistant for 3 years prior to this incident. Just a week after she had a lamp broken on her head, Deja requested Abbaney drive her to school, so she drove along with her 2-year-old child. Upon getting to the campus, it was late, so she decided to sleep there till the next morning, but unfortunately there was no next morning. Jacquez was still very upset that she had left him, so he somehow found his way into the dorm where he found Deja, Abbaney, and her child. He went crazy and shot all of them, killing Deja and Abbaney. He fatally shot his ex-girlfriend, 20-year-old Abbaney Matts, her 2-year-old son and her 19-year-old sister, freshman Deja Matts, inside the Pride Rock residence hall where Deja lived. The sisters were later found dead inside the Pride Rock residence hall on the Texas A&M Commerce campus when someone called to report bullet holes in their room. The discovery prompted a lockdown that lasted several hours. Fortunately, the 2-year-old, who was grazed in the foot by a bullet, was treated and released to the custody of family members.
19-year-old Deja wanted to be a nurse. That's why she was in college. Her sister, 20-year-old Abbaney, was her best friend. The two died together in Deja's dorm room Monday afternoon. Abbaney's 2-year-old son, Alan, was shot in the leg. He survived. The family wanted us to show video of baby Alan so people could see just how cruel the person who did this really is.
I think it was like a coward move. I mean, if somebody would do something like that, you know what I'm saying? My daughters were fun, uplifting, had plenty of friends, nice folks, you know what I'm saying? They took both of my daughters.
Abbaney did not attend the college. She drove her sister back to school after a big family get-together over the weekend. She and baby Alan were only going to spend one night there.
Because they were just up here. My son had a birthday party, and they was all up here and went back, and this right here happened.
University Police Department, this is Kim.
Police did release a 911 call that was made by a student at the college saying there was a bullet hole in her dorm room.
And there's a hole through my wall, and on the other side directly across, there's a nick in my calendar. So it looks like something was shot through the wall and hit my calendar.
Police arrested Abbaney's ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old Jacquez Dshawn Smith, and he's been charged with capital murder. The girl's family says there had been relationship issues, but for now, they want the focus to be on these two beautiful sisters who were full of life and love.
It was just my little booze, my booze.
Hours after the murders and before the announcement of his arrest, Jacques expressed his apparent disbelief over what happened on his Facebook page. "Abby, I can't believe this. I just been waiting on yo call. I'm knowing you was goin' call me and say it's all a lie, baby. I'ma miss you so much. We were supposed to grow old together. Ain't no one perfect, but you were perfect for me. You and Bonka is everything to me and forever will be. I can't even look at our pictures without crying. I just wish we wasn't going through what we was going through. I would been right there with you to protect y'all, Abby. I wouldn't have let this happen to y'all. They would have had to get me first." Jacquez has a criminal record that includes 3 additional arrests since 2017. He was arrested for aggravated assault in Mesquite and for evading arrest in Duncanville and Grand Prairie. Police were able to see from CCTV who the killer was. Jacquez Dshawn Smith, 21, was arrested at his Rowlett home even as he tried to fool the cops with his Facebook post.
Police spent hours searching the Rowlett home where 21-year-old Jacquez Smith was arrested, a day after police say he gunned down 20-year-old Abbaney Matts and her sister, 19-year-old Deja Matts, inside Deja's dorm room at Texas A&M Commerce. She was studying public health.
University Police Department, this is Kim.
Today, police released a 911 call from a student who found a bullet hole in her dorm room wall.
It looks like it came like the ceiling. Parts of the ceiling had fallen.
Family members say Abbaney took her 2-year-old son with her when she drove her sister back to school Sunday. It was late, so she stayed the night. How Smith gained entry to the dorm room Monday morning is a question the Matts family wants answered. Last week, courts ordered Smith to stay away from Abbaney. A restraining order was issued after Smith was arrested in Garland, accused of assaulting her with a frying pan and a lamp, and police say he pulled a knife. He was arrested, but records show he bonded out 2 days later. University police say surveillance video and witness tips led to Smith's arrest. Hours before, he wrote to Abbaney directly in a Facebook post saying, quote, "We were supposed to grow old together, and I can't even look at our pictures without crying."
Well, the president of the Dallas Police Union agrees with the Dallas County DA on at least one thing tonight. The legal system failed 2 sisters who were shot and killed at Texas A&M Commerce. Jacquez Smith has a lengthy criminal record, including a domestic violence arrest for brutally attacking his girlfriend. But a municipal court judge in Garland set his bond at just $15,000, and Smith bonded out of jail in 2 days. Abbaney Matts and her sister ended up dead before the week was out. But DA John Creuzot claims antiquated computer systems didn't give the judge the information he needed about Smith's previous crimes.
Had he known all the facts and all the background of this particular individual, that he would have set a much higher bond or no bond at all. I feel fairly certain about that.
I'm tired of the DA pointing the fingers at the judges. I'm tired of the judges pointing the finger at the magistrates. They got to get their house in order. And we all got to do our part in dropping violent crime.
He faces capital murder charges for killing 19-year-old Deja Matts and 20-year-old Abbaney Matts. He was held on a $3 million bond. Jacquez was also charged with capital murder in the death of different person named Stephen Daniels, which occurred on December 31, 2019, in Denton, Texas. The school confirmed that Deja was a freshman at the university and was pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Public Health. University President Mark Rudin and the University Police Department held a press conference.
Our hearts go out to everyone in the community who has been impacted by this tragedy. The A&M Commerce University Police Department, in collaboration with other law enforcement agencies, is working diligently to investigate the incident at Pride Rock Residence Hall on our campus.
Neither her sister, Abbaney, or Jacquez were enrolled at the school. Some people were not happy about how he was released previously on a $1,500 bond, especially being a dangerous person. The state was prepared to proceed to trial. However, the defendant indicated he would agree to plead guilty to 2 counts of murder with sentences of life in prison plus 35 years in prison, and this resolution was accepted by Abbaney and Deja's family as well as the state. Since the sentences will be served consecutively, the defendant will be required to complete his first sentence prior to starting his second sentence. The family has decided that they would be suing the school for not adequately providing a safe school environment for their child.
The parents of 2 sisters murdered on the Texas A&M Commerce campus in February say they are still waiting for answers about how their daughters died. The family is filing a lawsuit to get the university to cooperate.
It's been a nightmare every single day.
Vanessa Calderon and Timothy Matts on life since losing both of their daughters February 3rd on the Texas A&M Commerce campus. 19-year-old Deja and her 20-year-old sister Abbaney Matts murdered, police say, by Abbaney's ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old Jacquez Smith. Her 2-year-old son also injured. Deja was enrolled as a student, her sister and nephew visiting, all 3 in Deja's dorm room when they were attacked.
I lay awake every night and I wonder what happened. I wonder how someone was able to get in a secure building, up secure elevators, shoot and kill both of my kids and shoot my grandson.
The family says they haven't heard anything from the university since the shootings. University police handled the shooting investigation.
They want answers. They want accountability. Answer basic questions. Who was there that night? Who was on patrol? What was the security like?
According to the lawsuit, the Texas A&M University system and A&M Commerce may be held responsible for the deaths under premises liability, negligence, and gross negligence standards. But the family's attorney says they can't determine if they should file that lawsuit because despite several attempts to find out more about potential system and security failures, they struggled to get basic information. This lawsuit aims to compel the university to open up.
If we do need to go forward with this lawsuit, that we have good, solid evidence as far as what took place that night. And right now, this family has none.
In a filed response, the university says it's insulated from litigation on claims that it failed to secure the premises because Smith was neither a student nor an employee of the campus. And it says more broadly, it has sovereign immunity from being sued because it's a state institution.
If the school is hiding behind governmental immunity, this isn't what it was built for. It wasn't built to keep from answering questions to parents that lost.
Deja and Abbaney were honored by the House.
Madam Speaker, I rise today to honor survivors during National Gun Violence Survivors Week. Tragically this week, sisters Deja and Abbaney Matts of Garland were killed, and Abbaney's toddler was injured at a shooting at Texas A&M Commerce University. The shooter was believed to be her ex-boyfriend and was recently charged with aggravated assault for attacking Abbaney. I send my deepest condolences to the Matts family. To honor the Matts and to underscore the need for action, I want to share a letter 6-year-old Cal of Rowlett sent me after the mass shootings in El Paso and Midland. He wrote, "When kids get shot, that's less friends to play with. When I grow up, I don't want to hear about any more on the news about people being killed with guns. What are you going to do to make us safer? I want my son, Jordan, and kids like Cal to grow up without fear of gun violence. I call on the Senate to act and pass the bipartisan bills that we have passed in this House, including background checks and the Violence Against Women Act. Our children are watching. Thank you, and I yield back."
Some people believe the system failed them by letting a criminal be on the street by getting a cheap bail. We do hope their parents gets the required justice for their kid's death. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Deja and Abbaney Matts.